What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have American praises 5 things about living in the Netherlands. Excited to hear these 5 things. Before we do, though, if you guys happen to enjoy, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Let's find out how great it is to live in the Netherlands.
Hi everyone, I'm Ava, and today I'm going to tell you 5 things that I really love about living in the Netherlands. But before I go into these 5 things, I'm going to have to give you a little bit of background about myself.
Talk to me.
And I promise, just a little bit. Teeny little bit.
Teeny, tiny little bit.
Let's get to it.
I got you.
I met my girlfriend, who is Dutch, in 2016, so about 4 years ago, in the US when we were studying together. Since then, I visited the Netherlands about twice a year, and we would actually spend full summers in the Netherlands.
Dang!
In 2019, I decided to take the leap and move here permanently. My girlfriend was still in the US at the time, so I actually moved here by myself, and she later joined me earlier.
Really?
I wanted to share some things that I really noticed when I would visit the Netherlands that made me want to move here permanently. And I've continued to notice these things now that I actually live here. Now, I must say, I have more than 5 things if you talk to me, but I decided to pick the things that really stood out to me as an American, and these are pretty big things, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
So, let's get to it.
Let's dive right in.
So I just mentioned that I moved to the Netherlands right before my girlfriend did, so there was a period of time when I was here by myself. And what I was really surprised by is the sheer number of her friends who contacted me to make sure that I was settling in properly. So they would contact me for coffee or to get dinner or to just hang out. And I really
love
by it. And I'm not trying to say that in America people aren't nice, but this is an extra level of thoughtfulness.
Facts.
Yes.
Agreed.
I think number 1 is that Dutch people are actually really thoughtful. And I know I sound really surprised, but I think that's just because this is one of those things that I saw a little bit before actually moving here. But once I moved here, I was completely overwhelmed by it in the most positive way. And I should say that in the US, it's not that people won't check in with you, but they don't go that extra mile to, ask you for a coffee or to meet up, mostly because people don't have time and are working themselves away. But that's a point I will get to in a little bit. So that was one way in which I noticed how thoughtful Dutch people were. But there's another thing that really stands out to me, and it has to do with birthdays. Now, Dutch birthdays
I know a little bit about birthdays.
A whole other video. So when it comes to birthdays, Dutch people are ridiculously thoughtful. Ridiculously in the best way. The Dutch have a tried and true method of keeping track of people's birthdays. And that's by having an actual birthday calendar. So a calendar where they just write down when people were born. So many of my girlfriend's friends actually have my birthday on their calendar, which I find so touching.
I love that.
It's like, oh my God, that's when you know you really made it into a Dutch person's heart, when you have made it onto their birthday calendar. Which, fun fact, is in their bathroom. I should stop saying in their bathrooms or in you Dutch people's bathrooms, because I have one in my bathroom now, and that's when I felt really pleased. I was like, this is assimilation into a new culture at its best. I have a freaking birthday calendar in my bathroom. But Dutch people will use this birthday calendar to actually, make sure they wish you on your birthday, and here's the best part, send you a card, get you a little present. In the Netherlands, sending cards appears to be just part of everyday life. When my girlfriend started her new job here in the Netherlands, she got a ton of cards from people. And I don't know if that was just because, she got a job during the time of the coronavirus situation, or if it's really just a part of how Dutch people like to show that they're thinking about her. I think the thoughtful Dutch people. That is one of my favorite things about living in the Netherlands, and this I would say is specific to living in the Netherlands, because obviously I'm talking about how awesome Dutch people are. Let's move on to thing number 2.
I feel like that's so freaking awesome. The fact that her girlfriend's friends like welcomed her in with open arms, made sure she was all good, settling in, invited to coffee, invited to dinner, made sure they put her birthday on the calendars. Absolutely, I feel like that is incredibly thoughtful and very warm and heartfelt to them to do that because they didn't have to. And in the U.S., I don't necessarily know if that would have been the response, but I'm so glad that her girlfriend's friends made her feel so warm and welcome. That's awesome.
Which is the work-life balance. Oh my God! As an American, work-life balance has to be on this list, right? Because as the world knows, Americans love working. We love.
We ain't got a choice.
Some kind of a self-worth thing where we think the more we work, the better, the more we're worth as a person.
I feel that.
I'm saying this out loud and I realize how crazy that sounds, but it's just true. It's how very many people feel. And even if they don't feel that way, sometimes a person's life situation might make it so that they need to have 2 or 3 jobs. But here in the Netherlands, the Dutch mindset is such that work is one part of your life and then there is this whole other aspect of your life outside of work. I mean, can you even imagine life outside of work? What are we talking about? People here ask me what my hobbies are, and in the beginning I kind of had to like stop and think, because in the US if you had hobbies that means you were doing things other than work, and that's not okay. But here,
I got hobbies.
Dutch people like to go swimming. Of course everyone swims. Dutch people like to go outdoors, hiking, biking. Many people have joined a sports club. I am so surprised. Many people in the Netherlands also work part-time. When I was applying for jobs here, I noticed that some jobs specified a 0,6 or 0.6 FTE or full-time employment.
Okay. That's what that means.
I was confused. I didn't know what that meant because I was
I feel you. I didn't either.
Or is it not full time? I don't understand. So I had to ask to find out, and apparently in the Netherlands it's really common to work 60% of the 40 hours, so 24 hours, or you can work 0.8. That's another pretty common one. So 32 hours in the week, and you work 4 days a week.
That sounds beautiful to me.
It's like, why would people want this? Isn't this inferior
why would
to
you
working
not?
full time? And no, people really want to work part time so that they can spend time with the kids or do other things, their hobbies, live life. They're not buying into the whole we need a 5-day work week. No, it's not Sweden where there's a enforced 6-hour workday, but there is something to be said about Dutch people opting to work less because they think that's an essential part of life, to do other things and not just work the whole time. I cannot talk about this topic without mentioning the holiday days. In the US, you get 10 days, 2 weeks off. That's really average.
That's crazy.
If more than that, that is phenomenal. And oftentimes people can't even use their holiday days if you work in a really high pressure job.
Facts.
I'm from New York. That's like what, all of Manhattan?
Oh. Doesn't
matter. In the Netherlands, all of that can stay in the US. When you move here, you by law are required to have 20-ish days. I'm going to specify the exact amount here. You're going to have 20-ish days of holiday days required by law, and then I think many people have 20 to 30 holiday days. So I have 24, my partner has 30. Those are so many days. And I met someone last week who has 8 weeks, she told me. And this is not including the national holidays.
8 weeks?
Stuff. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that want to make you move here just by itself? And then finally, about this work-life balance, I want to add the one thing that in the US, when you're working, or when I worked in the US, sending emails or communicating with your employer, like employer-employee relationship, you could communicate with each other throughout the week, into the weekends. There isn't this distinction between the work week and the weekends when it comes to doing things like sending work emails. In the Netherlands, I heard from my partner that she would think twice and feel extremely uncomfortable sending a work email during the weekend. The Dutch people watching my video, what do you think about this? Would you feel uncomfortable sending an email during the weekend? if you had an idea or a thought related to work, would
Better
you
write it
contact your
down,
employer?
record it.
Yeah, let me know, because she hasn't lived here in the last 5 years, so we would both really like to know about this. Thing number 3.
The work-life balance sounds absolutely incredible. 8 weeks vacation is genuinely like mind-blowing to me. Like my brain still is struggling to fathom 8 weeks of vacation is crazy. But yeah, work-life balance is huge. Me and my wife were just talking about this. Cause I probably work like 5-6 hours. Probably like probably like 7 hours a day. And then, but I was like, I kind of want to learn a new skill. Like, I want to learn how to, like, edit videos a lot better. But the course that I was going to take, I'd have to take like 45 minutes more out of every single day. And she was already like, you already work so much. And, you don't get to spend time with me and your son, like, until after you finish work. And if you work more, that's more time away from us. And I was like, yeah, it's true. So I was like, well, I'll just sleep an hour less so I can. So yeah, a lot of the time you feel like as an American mindset, there's not enough hours in the day because you got so much to do. You got to grind. And a lot of the times you forget to enjoy life. But yeah, don't take you only get a certain amount of time on this planet, so enjoy your time. I absolutely love 32-hour work week. Sounds beautiful. It sounds sensational. And as long as that can provide for you and your family, oh my God, do it. I'd do it. If 32 hours a week provided, I would not be in front of this camera for more than 32 hours. But I absolutely love that. Shout out to the Dutch. That kind of work-life balance is such a freaking incredible thing, and I wish that we had more of that here. More people live their lives instead of slaving themselves to death. But that's not the culture here. The culture here is work with. Sometimes you ain't got no choice. You have to. 32 hours ain't going to pay the bills here. 40 hours don't pay the bills here. You almost got to go beyond that. So let's continue the video.
This one might start off a bit funny because I'm going to say I love that I pay high taxes because high taxes equals high reward.
How much tax?
I'm going to give some very simple examples about what that's like, what paying low taxes translates to in the US to illustrate my point. So in the US, biking is a challenge for many reasons, mostly because people aren't familiar with bikers on the road, but also because there are so many potholes on the street.
Facts.
When I moved to the Netherlands, I could walk without falling. I could bike without fear for my life, or without being afraid that if I go too fast, I'm going to get into a pothole and then just fly out. Nope. So paying the taxes for maintenance of your country is a fantastic idea. And I also like where the tax money goes to. It goes to social benefit. I think having social security because I pay high taxes is amazing. I mentioned in the US, people will work 2 or 3 jobs sometimes because their life situation will force them to.
Exactly.
In the Netherlands, if you need government help for whatever reason, you can get it as a member of Dutch society.
Are you serious?
This could not have been more apparent when the corona crisis situation hit. In the Netherlands, many people got 90% of their salaries. Now, I know it's not perfect. There are a lot of issues that go with it and with people getting their money, especially if you're a freelancer. But yeah, there are still government initiatives. People weren't afraid of ending up on the street homeless. Whereas in the US, it means homelessness. It means not having health insurance if you don't have a job, because you don't have Social Security in the same way. Now, I know Americans might find this a bit too extreme where they say we do have Social Security, but it is not the same. It is absolutely not the same. Using the coronavirus situation, giving people the 1-time or 2-time check of a certain amount, that's not going to solve the systemic issues in society.
Facts.
I got really heated up here, but this is so important to me to
I feel you though.
have this community bond to make sure that everyone is taken care of. And I'm not even talking about just the vulnerable segments of society here. For instance, if you get sick. You being a very average person, get sick. Burnouts are a thing. You might be burnt out at work. You might have an illness.
Yeah.
And in the US, you will lose your job.
Facts.
If that happens to you, it's a
You
really
will.
terrible situation. And then not only are you ill, but on top of it, you have lost your job.
Yep.
Whereas
No
in
money,
the Netherlands,
no
for
insurance.
2 years, you keep your job if you are sick and unable
That's
to
incredible.
work full time or unable to work at all. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because I'm getting really, really heated. This is a really important topic to me because I'm enraged by the situation in the US
I feel
for
that.
many reasons now.
I
And even
feel
just
that.
talking about anything to do with the problems there, it really gets to me. And I'm American, so I guess that's not that surprising. But moving on.
We definitely got a lot of issues that need to be fixed, and there's plenty of systemic issues that need to be fixed in this country, and you just pray that they do. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep having the same problems over and over again. But yeah, that's absolutely incredible, bro. 90% of your pay during COVID, that had to be extremely clutch for so many people. And then yeah, those stimulus checks. Although I was able to still work from home, those stimulus checks for so many were very, very helpful. And had I not went into the job, like I literally got into my new job like 2 weeks before COVID hit. And COVID hits and shuts everything down for a couple years, it felt like. And that in my old job, I wouldn't have been able to work from home because I was in catering, so it wouldn't have worked. But in my new job, I was able to work from home and still receive my paycheck. So thank the Lord that happened, because for so many people, they were just, you're out of luck. And I know I hate high taxes. I will say that I don't want to, but I will say that you guys do get so many benefits from paying those taxes. You have so many programs that help people from paying those taxes. So you get to see what your taxes are going to. It's not like you're just throwing the money and then you don't see where it's going. You see where it's going, and it's so beneficial to so many people in so many ways. So it's understandable.
To nicer, more fun things is number 4, which is I really moved here for how much history and culture there is all around. When I walk into the city center in Utrecht, or honestly any city in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, just what I see is history and culture and beauty.
That.
I can be a little superficial that way, and I really love how beautiful everything is. I love seeing that the buildings are from, centuries ago, from the 1500s, from the 1400s. My apartment building is from the 1500s. I just love it, and you see it in things like the beautiful details on the window, the architecture styles, and just having that kind of old city vibe all around you just adds so much to your life on a daily basis. Like, I'm happy when I walk outside my apartment and just go for a walk or a bike ride throughout the city. It's really great. And I say city because I am a city person. It's really hard when you've grown up in New York and Mumbai to not be a city person. But I do love the Dutch countryside too. There are these amazing, gorgeous Dutch houses with like the thatched roof, and oh my God, just I love it. It just adds so much beauty to everyday life, and what is life without beauty?
For sure.
I also want to, of course, mention the Dutch history of art, because there's so many Dutch artists, and you can learn important figures in Dutch history by kind of learning the street names, because they're all named after important figures in Dutch history.
Mr. Van Gogh Straat.
There's some problems with
I
that,
love
but
that.
We're not going to go into that here. And you can just go to the museums and enjoy Dutch artists, and it's really nice to. So I, as an American, don't have this feeling very often where I go into a museum and see artists from the country that I'm living in. That's a really simple pleasure, I find.
feel that.
Whereas now, when I go in and I think, oh, this is a Dutch artist, one of like many, many hundreds, and I can say, oh, that's a Dutch artist, and I'm learning something about the place that I lived in. And that just really makes me feel like I'm surrounded by beautiful things in history. And of course, have you seen the pretty canals in the
Oh
Netherlands.
my God, they're
Have you
absolutely
seen
gorgeous.
how beautiful they are?
Gorgeous.
Why wouldn't you want to live here? It is beautiful. I honestly have not had very many sad days since I moved. Some sad moments. Sad days,
that's awesome.
very little. Because when you go outside for a walk, poof, the sadness is gone. Because everything is so beautiful. And you just want to spend all this time in this beauty. Number 5.
It's cool that I get to continue reacting to Netherlands videos, and I get to learn more about the culture, and I get to learn more about the history and more about the artist scene. And I can't wait to continue to learn these things. Like, that's awesome. Yeah, I know the Netherlands is an absolutely beautiful and incredible country. And number 5, I don't even know how to pronounce that word.
Is how gezellig the Netherlands is. The
How
Netherlands
gezellig.
is a very
Gezellig.
cozy country. And
Okay.
I love that about the culture and the lifestyle here. So I have another video on some gezellige Dutch things, but I
Gezellig.
want to just mention that it's the way of life of making sure that everything is nice and cozy and pleasant that I really like about living here. So, but aside from the things I mentioned in this video, I want to say that I really like the everyday little things that are done to make life cozy and very pleasant. So, for instance, I only associate buying flowers in America with a really traditional American family. Whereas here, I mean, people my age just go out, buy flowers, make sure the aesthetics in their house are pretty and nice and warm and welcoming, cozy.
I feel that.
It's not just very practical and functional. That's what I associate with the US. But maybe not cozy, you know, like I'm totally buying into making things cozy and nice. And when it comes to
I love
cafes,
that.
I'm not going to go into a cafe that's not gezellig. And Dutch people know
That's
that.
not
I know that
gezellig?
Dutch people won't go into a cafe or a restaurant if it's not cozy. So there are like
Okay.
little pillows and blankets everywhere. This whole culture of Gezelligheid just speaks to me. And
Gezelligheid.
I was sold. And so I moved. And now I'm very happy. And this is my happily ever after story.
I love
so
that.
I wanted to make this video to, well, celebrate all the awesome things about the Netherlands with the awesome Dutch people watching this video. And I also wanted to make this video for Americans to see what life can look like in a different country, in a different culture.
Yes.
So if you Dutch people have anything else to add, let me know in the comments.
Alright, we gotta start making things more gezellig around here. Gotta start making things more cozy, more nice around here. My wife does a great job of that. I don't ever. Gezellig ain't me. I'm not making things cozy. I'm the practical, functional guy. But I absolutely love this video. There's so many great things about the Netherlands that we lack here in America. That we could take some notes and try to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Let me try to implement that into my life. But you guys, let me know what you guys think of the video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, get a video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. I'll see y'all next time.